bro. After this, put me where you think I am, bro. Do not bullshit. Not fucking bullshit, bro. Boy, put me up.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, why is Lee beat Neji?
For one, he's just like narrow, be stronger than Neji, and also like stayed at the same time, like with the gates.
Yeah, I mean, in base or like in weightless, is there any form of narrative implication he's above like Neji is strongest?
In weightless, I don't think so. No, I don't think there needs to be that.
So
Actually,
so
no, there is a bit of a narrative implication, but I kind of just tie it to the gates. Like I tie it to Lee as a whole. So I don't really think
so
I'm
why do you think
it.
why do you think gated Lee can beat Neji?
Why do I think what?
Why do you think like Lee beat Neji? Is there any argument as to why he'd be able to damage Neji?
Yeah, for one, it's just narratively implied the gate should be the key to defeating Neji. Lee should already be faster than Neji in base, so I think that should relate to him being able to damage him and bypass the gentle fist.
One, why is he like, what's it called? It can be implied as in like, yeah, they say this is. Then the real question is like, what Neji are they referring to? Are they referring to the one pre-training or the one post-training? And then it's like, what's it called? It also just doesn't seem to make sense that they'd be referring to the one post-training since that one hasn't even arrived yet.
Yeah, no, it's like, pre-training. It's pre-training.
Okay, yeah. Two, my second thing is, what's it called? Is Lee's making this statement off of his fights with Neji, right? So then my question is like,
no, it's narrative. So it shouldn't be just based off his fights with Neji. It's also stated by Guy.
If he's saying this is the key to defeating Neji, the reason why Neji is
I did not state that.
Okay, who makes the statement?
Which statement?
That this is the key to defeating Neji thing.
I didn't even use that. Are you like pre-cogging arguments?
Okay, then where's the like narrative implication?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So for one, whenever like Lee is shown in his flashbacks of learning the gates, it's all like, oh, I can't beat Neji, and then he used the flashbacks to say, okay, this is the key he gave him to surpass this like. Right after that, Guy himself states, this high-speed combo is the key to defeating Neji.
Yeah, of course, I agree that the entire reason he was trying to learn the gates in the first place was to be able to defeat Neji. But then the real question is like, which Neji is he referring to? Right now, you can say it's like narrative where, yeah, this is the entire point that it's all building up to him being able to surpass Neji, right? But if he's training to surpass the Neji he's fighting, and the Neji he's fighting is just like some Neji who's beating the dog shit out of him and on him because he has no chakra, then I'd even just like ask you, why do you think like Neji was going all out whenever they engaged in like sparring? It doesn't seem to make any sense to me.
For one, it's in Neji's character to kind of like go all out against these people who have these like conflicting ideals. It's shown with Hinata. For two,
why is it going all out against Hinata?
Wait, it wasn't that. I'll show you both after. So for one, it's that the whole Hinata shit, and then for two, it's also a narrative plus Guy push theme. It's not Lee's character. It's not Lee saying, okay, Neji's this strong. It's Lee, Guy, and the narrative pushing this fact. So I don't think
Guy is saying
limited to Lee's interpretation.
Just saying that this is the key to defeating Neji, because look, Lee is coming to Guy to be able to defeat the Neji that he's been fighting. Guy is training him to be able to defeat the Neji that he's fighting. Wait. So again, okay, so do you think Guy is training him for a hypothetical full power Neji? How would you be able to prove that?
I'm saying
this is all contingent on the fact that he's been going all out against Neji against Lee in the first place.
You gave me a burden, chill. You gave me a burden. Okay, so one, he's telling him he wants to defeat Neji, not this holding back Neji. He wants to defeat Neji as a whole. It should be assumed as his, wait. It should be assumed as his teacher that Guy should know this power. Also, I'm gonna go grab the shit real quick too. No, where is it?
You can go and answer thing. I'll ask you the same thing later.
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay, give me a second.
Mm,
What's this gun?
read the side. It says, however, the difference between their true strengths is overwhelming. I don't think true strengths would be referring to holding back Neji. Doesn't make sense.
Wait a minute.
Also, I don't see why he'd be holding back while trying to kill Hinata and like
Blah, blah, blah,
humiliate her.
blah, blah.
I feel like trying
This is
harder
like
would
near the
humiliate
end,
her.
right?
You
This is
said
like
what?
near the end. This is near the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the end, when he gets like pissed at Hinata, then he decides to like beat the piss out of her. And then he decides that, oh, he's going to hit her in the heart and kill her. Sure,
Wait,
I
no,
can
that's
agree
not
that he's
true.
going all out there. I don't understand why he'd be going on all of the other instances where she's able to react to him. Like, clearly,
That's
all
not
this means is
true.
just like, wait, chill,
Pause,
chill,
pause,
chill.
pause, pause,
Wait,
pause.
chill. I want like to get the
Oh,
entire
you're
argument out
continuing?
because
All right, go ahead.
earlier on, he wasn't overwhelming her, right? They were kind of going back and forth. But now at the end, overwhelming her is like beating the piss out of her, right? So again, you just be like, yes, at the end, whenever he's like pissed at her, then he'd go all out. But
That
again, I don't even know why one
was,
instance would be like good enough for an induction. But
yeah,
go ahead.
that's wrong too. He was definitely overwhelming her before. They could have been like visually seen like blocking each other's attacks, but we see at the end it's revealed that she wasn't even blocking them, that she was like striking her the whole time. Like he was not missing
That's
his targets. He was fucking her up the whole
one.
time and she got 0 hits on him. She got 0
Mm-hmm.
clean hits.
Okay, well, it's fine if she didn't have any clean hits on him. You're basically trying to say that yeah, all of the like statements that people are saying just seems to be like just seems to be contradicted, and everyone is mistaken, and they can't even perceive Neji's attacks, right? Which doesn't seem to be true, because if all that's needed for you to actually hit somebody with the gentle fist is for you to simply just touch them, right, in a specific part of their body, right, and all of these people are looking at the fight happen and seeing that, oh yeah, Neji is getting his attacks blocked, and then you're trying to just try and create some form of contradiction by saying, oh, in reality, he was in fact hitting all of his
What?
attacks at the same
My
time.
bad. Can you
You'd
repeat
have
that?
to commit yourself to defeat that. Either A, they all can't perceive Neji, or B, they're
Wait,
all just
could you
stupid
repeat the
retards.
argument? Can you repeat the
Okay, yeah,
argument?
if all that's needed for me to hit you with the gentle fist and seal all your chakra points is for me to simply just touch you, right? And then everyone is watching the fight, and they are all coming towards the conclusion that like Neji is actually getting his attacks blocked, right? And then you're trying to say that one, there's just some form of contradiction here. Well, it would be like either A, they're all just like very, very mistaken, and they aren't properly. That would mean that A, they aren't actually seeing Neji move as he's hitting Hinata, right? Which would mean that he's either perception blitzing the entire crowd, or B, you're just trying to say that yeah, there what's it called? They're all just wrong, right? And the author is just trying to mislead us here whenever he makes these statements, which also just doesn't seem to be very parsimonious. Occam's razor just like
Wait,
defeat
no,
that
that's
interpretation.
okay. Yeah, there's like two really big issues with that interpretation. For one, you'd have to be sure that the people making these statements know like, what the Byakugan can do. Is that what it's called, Byakugan? Also,
It's
you
yeah,
like
it's
they'd
the
have
guy
to.
literally explains that.
Yeah. He explains it, but they'd have to be aware that because it just says you pulse your chakra through their chakra points. So if Hinata blocks with their hand, the assumption is he was attacking your chest, therefore he got his attack blocked. But we see later when he pulls up her sleeve, and he even states himself, his gentle fist is so advanced that he's even able to attack these nerves, right? He's even able to attack these chakra points. So no, they're just as to what his true abilities are. They're just
Yeah,
underestimating him at
so
this point.
again, it'd be like basically one. The way they explain it is just that if you even get grazed by the hands, right, then you will actually get what's it called? Then you will actually get your chakra point sealed.
Where is it?
So
Wait,
that's
where is that stated? Wait, where is that
the
stated? Because
entire point. And I'm pretty sure
we literally see them show
I'll find the
surprise.
scan.
Yeah, because when he pulls up her sleeve, they're literally surprised. So no, they couldn't have been aware.
Yeah,
They couldn't have been aware of him doing this.
that's fine if they're surprised. I'll just explain why that doesn't matter once I find the scan.
Yeah, then your whole thing about they should have been able to see this is wrong because it would just mean they weren't aware he was doing this.
No. You're basically trying to say that, okay, look, your interpretation is just that, like, oh, they were all just mistaken and he was hitting her all at the same time. And I'm saying instead of that, it's just Neji then, once he, like, what's it called, when he got pissed off at Hinata, he then started getting serious and immediately overwhelmed her. Hence why they aren't
He only hit her
relative.
twice. That's wrong. He only hit her
Give me a
twice when
second.
he, like, so quote
Sasuke
unquote got
versus
really mad,
Dara.
but I think he was mad since the start. I think you're wrong.
Yeah, he was mad since the start. Was clearly more resolved to crush her resolve, especially when he literally goes to hit her in the heart, which was something he was doing like before. But let me find
Wait,
the
what?
scan
Wait,
first. I
wait,
don't
wait,
want to like
wait.
engage in like back and
Yeah,
forth
yeah.
while I'm finding
Okay,
the
so you could repeat that afterwards. Also, I'd like to get into the data book shit because you were wrong. Like the picture shows the end of the fight, but the data book actually that's what I thought you were talking about. But the data book, like that little
I don't know.
statement
I
they
don't
say
care
actually
about the picture
describes the start
specifically.
of the fight. So it can't just be that last moment. That'd be
No, I
wrong.
don't. I don't care about. Or like, I don't care about the picture specifically. Keep talking about the context of the fight seems to lean towards my interpretation, but
Oh no, I
I'll
don't think
find
so. But yeah, you can look for it.
where's this thingy. Blah, da 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 da. Sound Ninja. Da 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 da. Sasuke's Witch. Da 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 da. Oh, about my trainer. Oh my god. So it should be before this then. That's why I hate fiction debate and I don't want to find this fucking scan.
What are you looking for?
I would like Neji versus this other guy. Yeah. Swap hands. No. This is one. Blah 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 blah. Internal organs. Specifically, what did you want me to find again? Just to make sure I'm like
I
looking for.
literally don't remember. You were. Oh yeah. What were you trying to disprove? You were trying to disprove some shit. Oh
I
yeah,
was
you
trying
were
to
trying
say
to
that like
disprove his.
all it needs is just his
Yeah,
patch, and they explain. Yeah.
yeah. I think I remember now, but it seems you remember too. So go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Like, look at literally the entire time they're like thinking, oh, did she get him? Because he has his back to them. So now we just be like, that perfectly explains as to why everyone is so surprised there. Also, they don't seem to be surprised because of like what's it called? They don't seem to be surprised because he hit her so many times, right? They just seem to be surprised as to how good of a fighter he is, rather than like what's it called? Rather than he hit her all of this like multiple times.
No, I don't think so. Mm-hmm.
Can you show
Literally,
me a
okay.
single scan of them saying that, or them expressing some form of surprise that he hits it that many times? Because it
I
doesn't
don't
seem
need
to
to.
be
I
the
can
case. And
rationalize it.
even
I
if
can
wait,
literally rationalize
also,
it.
like I guess you can quote unquote, but even if like you said that quote unquote they're surprised, I'd also just say that like that also just fits in with what we see on screen, where they're also just questioning, did she get him? And the reason why they're doing so is because Neji has his back towards the audience. So if he's hitting her while he's like back, he's providing some form of obstruction towards their must they be surprised because they didn't see the thing happen. Whereas
Yeah,
before
no.
this, they were literally
Wait,
like,
wait, wait, wait.
before this, they were literally able to watch the
Wait, can
entire
you repeat that?
engagement.
You kind of went on a tangent. I kind of got lost a little bit.
If he has his back towards the crowd, then they would not be able to actually see what's going on whenever he's like landing strikes on her, right? And this is just further like supported by the fact that they don't even know whether or not Hinata's attack hit, specifically because he has his back to the crowd and they can't even tell if she touched him or not, whether or not that he blocked.
Wait, that's a self-defeating argument. Because okay, let
No,
me
it
remind
isn't.
you, just I don't want to beat you because you're saying something self-defeating. Okay, let me like run you back over this point again. I said he was trying from the start. The whole arm shit shows that like even though they look to be going relative, they weren't. You said that'd be wrong because these people
You
state
like
they're
that.
going
You like
relative.
that. You like
The
that.
on. Okay, yeah, my bad. So I said it's not relative, right? Even though the fight looks relative, they're blocking each other's blows because the whole time Neji wasn't getting his blows blocked. He was just hitting precise spots and like he was letting Hinata. That would mean all the onlookers, right? Like all the people watching the fight would have to be wrong because they're talking about like they're talking about it's relative. right? And then now you're saying they wouldn't even be able to know because they can't see his strikes. So that'd be self-defeating. That'd be defeating
Oh my
what you
God.
were saying
Okay.
before, which
So
is
this just
their
like a
gate.
very, very obvious confusion, right? Well, the point I was trying to get at is that yes, at the end, whenever he has his back completely to the crowd, and then everyone is wondering, oh, did she get him? Then you'd be as if they can't actually see what's going on because he has his back to the
Oh, on
crowd.
that panel.
Before this, right, whenever they are seeing both of their hands, wait, chill, chill, chill. Before this, whenever they can see both of their hands and they're like, oh, it's just a scratch. So they can clearly see that Hinata's hands and see Hinata's hands like almost making contact with Neji, right? Then clearly they actually are able to like observe the fight properly. So there would be no self-defeating argument here. All it would be is just a difference in terms of context.
If you're talking about before, you're wrong too because he's always had his back to them. Unless you mean like their vision is only obscured from him having his back
You
turned in
think
at
they
one
were
moment.
always you're staying in the same position towards the crowd the entire time?
Well, no, but I'm saying in the big exchange they are. It's shown.
In the big exchange they are. What's the argument for that?
Well, we literally see like no Diddy like the back shot of Neji, and then they go and like trade blows.
Yeah, we see a panel.
Wait. I'm gonna be real. Hold on. I'm gonna be real.
Actually,
It's like such a stupid. Wait. No, this is such a stupid argument. This shit doesn't matter.
I just saw the panel. It doesn't like wait. Chill. I don't really
ignore that.
look. I don't really
ignore that. I'm not even arguing that. I'm not even arguing that. Ignore that, bro. Because it's such a stupid argument. Brother, like we still haven't even gotten into like what's mainly the shit that's like super wrong with your argument. For one, he didn't land all those blows on her arms in that last panel. We see what he does. He hits her in the chest. He hits her on her arm once, and then he hits her arm one more time. Like, do you disagree? We literally see what he does. He hits her in her chest at the same, or her heart.
Do you not think
at the same time hits her arm to stop her attack? And he hits her one more time in her arm. Yet when he pulls back her sleeve, we see a number of detailed hits, and then we see Kakashi himself surprised, right? Which leads with my argument of the whole. Hold on, which leads to my argument being correct, which is that they were unaware of the hits the whole time because Hinata is seen blocking the attacks. But peep this statement. After seeing the marks on her arm, Kakashi states that he was actually hitting the tank, which is something that's even hard to precisely hit with the Byakugan, which would explain why they
that
weren't.
just leads on to like some sort of weird argument. Oh my God! Yes, he was hitting a more precise part of her arm. Yes, and the way he was doing so is by. Are you done? Can you hear me?
You were lagging like pretty hard. Yeah, you're okay. Are you good?
So yes, I'm fine with that. He was hitting a very precise part of her arm. What they say, oh yeah, he's hitting the tenketsu, right? The point is that the way he'd need to is by making physical contact with that. So when you say that, oh, these are the only two things that we see him do, that's fine if these are the only two things that we see him do. That doesn't really conflict with my interpretation where this is just something that just happens immediately, where he strikes her arm really, really quickly, right? This doesn't actually conflict with anything that I'm trying to argue here, right? Again, your interpretation seems to be in direct conflict with all of these other statements that we see the crowd making, whereas mine just isn't. And mine can just be explained very, very easily by the context here. So clearly your interpretation just creates more contradictions.
You're bugging like super hard. Do you want to like conclude?
Wait, okay. Like, is there anything? Well, just to be clear, can you repeat the entire argument before like we can move on?
Yeah. Also, we haven't gotten into one thing. So if you like, no, wait, never mind. You said that doesn't matter. The whole like picture shit. Okay, so let me repeat it. When you said he starts quote unquote trying, we see him hit her in her heart, hit her in her arm, and hit her in the bottom of her arm. So he does 3 total hits. And then you were saying, because before this we see he's relative with Hinata. I'm saying him being relative is a ruse. It's not truly what's happening. Because we see when he does interlock arms with her, they're shown to be blocking each other's attacks, quote unquote. But then when he pulls back her sleeve at the end, it's shown that he was actually deliberately doing that to hit her tenketsu in her arm. He was disabling her. And then we see Kakashi himself state, oh my gosh, when he does it.
Wait, you're lagging out. You're lagging out. Or maybe I am.
Yeah, it's probably you. I'm gonna be real.
Okay. Repeat the last part.
What part were you at?
You said that
The
like
whole
it's probably
shit?
something.
Yeah, okay. So I'll like summarize this super quickly then. I'll make it even quicker. We see 3 hits whenever he's quote unquote trying from your point of view. I'm saying he was trying before this. The reason it looked relative was because he was deliberately doing that to hit her Tenketsu. We see this when he pulls back her arm, and then
Oh my
there's
god, yeah,
marks
you just keep
everywhere.
lagging at that part.
Oh my. Okay, yeah. So he pulls back her arm. There's a lot of marks, or her sleeve. There's a lot of marks, and then Kakashi himself, as he says, he wasn't aware that he was even doing this because the Tenketsu, right, which is visible
Oh
to the
my god,
Byakugan,
wait.
is super hard to hit for people. But he just has like super precise aim, so that's probably why they were stating that it was relative because they weren't aware he was able to do this.
Okay. All Kakashi states very, very like blatantly is literally just, oh yeah, he can detect the Tenketsu, right? And what's it called? They're undetectable to the Sharingan eye, right? So all that's just trying to like one very, very specifically just that
God damn. The lag is actually disgusting.
like it all that implies is just
damn.
strike precise because for this. Wait, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're trying to say that because like we only hits there for the daily hits he did again. My argument be way more like Zeus's saying he's been doesn't really mean anything, nor does he even mean that it would be undetectable. Shouldn't hit in our arm in the quote unquote relative feet. He doesn't hit the lower portion of arm in the quote unquote relative feet, so
He literally does. Like he hits her right below the sleeve like 20 times, bro.
yeah,
Well,
he
not
hits
20
her right
times, but
below the
also
sleeve, but
we
we
don't
can we
we
can
don't even
literally
know.
see the attacks
We
that
don't
he
even
gets.
we also don't even know if that's all the attacks he did because obviously if there's like too many attacks to show, that's why they showed like of like them in different poses just attacking. So he could actually
Yeah,
hit her
so
with more
we
times
can
than that.
always see just like
It's
them in
just
different
showing at the
poses.
end.
Yeah, all we see is just like them with different poses attacking, right? But we even like what's it called? No matter out of all of this time lapse, we don't really see even once that like we don't even see even once that like he hits where all of the injuries are shown for one, and then two, you trying to say that like oh it's a time lapse, so he might do more hits than this. No, I don't think so. I just think this is just supposed to like represent a fast engagement where they are both like hitting, they're both going back and forth multiple. However, that doesn't really
You
seem to
just
like
prove my point.
Hmm?
You literally just proved my point.
Why?
Because if that's just the visual representation of them showing like a quick series of blows, right? Then
Yes.
it would be what I said, where it doesn't show all the blows.
Yeah, no, that's
there is
just
no
question begging. I don't know. I don't grant. Wait, chill. I don't grant that just because it's showing a fast engagement, that means it can't show all of the engagement. Hello.
Yeah. So it could be he does more blows, and then we see that being justified because throughout the fight, like that one thing where he punched her in her chest, everybody else is saying the fight's been relative, quote unquote. Yet we see
that's just like
bunch of arms on her these bunch of markings on her arm. These bunch of markings couldn't have like just randomly appeared. We don't see another instance where he could have possibly done this. So we
wait.
can
Now you're
deduce from
lagging out
that
again.
he does that here.
Okay, look. I don't really care to engage with the possibility thing. Like, sure, he could have possibly like hit her all of these times. Within that instance, right? I don't really care about that. I think question back and just assume that my view is false while you're going at it. So I think we can move on. I don't think there's anything like more.
Well, I'll highlight it to you one more time. I want to be charitable, so I'll highlight it to you one more time. I'm not saying this is a possibility. I'm saying this is what happened, at least most likely, because we can deduce that from the surrounding context. We see in the fight, we're shown a couple of hits at the saying is where he ended up doing the damage. He hits her in her heart, hits her in her arm, and then hits her in her arm one more time. Yet when he pulls back her sleeve, we see many hits. The only time these many hits could have occurred through like the panels, right, is in this quick engagement of gentle
Again, I
fist where they're
don't,
quote
yeah,
unquote
I don't
blocking
even
each
see
other.
the
So I'm saying
argument for that either.
that's the
Like, hello,
only time
I've
that it
already.
could possibly be,
Mhm.
right? Then I'm saying that would be when it is.
Yeah, I've already given you like the argument as to why that wouldn't be true. Engagement that you're trying to display to me, right? We literally see all of those instances. He's only hitting her directly below the sleeve. Even when we see all of the injuries happen, we see that like directly below the sleeve, she has no injuries. So clearly, it's going to be something else that is not actually shown on panel. So that's why my interpretation just seems to be way
Oh
more
my,
parsimonious, and he's
yo,
actually referring to like that short instance, and it also creates no
yeah,
contradiction to the statement.
yeah. You're being like super stubborn. We can move on.
Yeah, we
We'll
can
finish
move
this
on.
last sub point. We'll finish this last like sub point, and then
Yeah.
I'll
So what's the argument for why he? Oh, Naruto.
wait a second. This last sub point is just like I want to question why would he even be holding back at this point? Like why would he hold back and then just randomly go all out? Like he's hated her from the start.
I can give you like
I
a
don't think his
variety
position
of reasons why
changes.
people could do that.
Yeah. So what's the reason?
Uh, it could just be he's like what's it called? He wants to give her false hope, then overwhelm her, showing her the true difference between the. He wants to crush her resolve, right, so that she never tries to fight again. Hence why he tells her to quit at the start of the fight. C, it could just be he's evil like that. He just doesn't fucking like the bitch, right? So again, the more malicious thing
Okay.
to do would be give
Mhm.
her some false hope and then take.
You cut out for a bit, but well, yeah, sure. If your argument was like just arguing these different possibilities, you're just saying like this could be like he could have possibly been, which grants credence to like um or it opens a gateway to you making this argument of why he would be holding back.
No.
That's fine.
I'm saying no. I'm not making some form of weird possibility argument. I'm saying he is holding
I'm not
back
saying it's
based off of what
possible.
we see.
No, I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
I'm saying you're saying it's possible, and then you're using defeats to like push that up to instead be a
No,
probability, right?
I'm saying he is holding back, and I'm using like what's it called? I'm using a whole bunch of context, and I'm using just like multiple reasons why generally in anime people do hold back. Potentially, he could be holding back.
Or do you so you think it's more probable that he's holding back, even like albeit ignoring the feats?
Uh, I think it's more probable that he'd be holding back, like what's it called, ignoring defeats. Yeah, but I don't really care to like
It's
go
do
into
you
his like character motives, really.
wait, yeah, I'm saying do you want to like get into that, or do you just want to like agree that the way we justify which one's more probable is through the feats argument we had?
I mean, actually, I think we can discuss. It doesn't really make any sense to me that if he's trying to make somebody to be no good reason as to why your way of like making her quit, which would be like, for example, just overwhelming her from the start, would be any better than my way of doing it, which would be slowly but surely overwhelming her,
Well, yeah,
right, and then
I don't agree.
showing her the difference
Oh,
between
my
the
bad.
two of them immediately.
Yeah, I don't disagree that like my interpretation would be more probable than yours. I'm just saying like I also don't think the inverse is true. I just think they're both possible ways, and they both
Yeah,
are
I
like
think
clear
even from
ways
an
to get to.
emotional standpoint, if
Wait.
his motive is to
I,
make her quit the fight, if his
wait,
motive is
to
to
do
fight, I
that.
think my way of doing it would just be the way
I don't think
most
that's
people
his
go
motive.
about it.
I don't think that's
He
his motive.
literally says from the start, quit Hinata, right? And then at the end, he's like, oh, well, y'all so useless, the main
Yeah,
branch
he
is so
says that
weak.
in the beginning. He says you should quit before they even fight. She doesn't take that offer, so he just beats the
Yeah,
shit out of her.
wait, he
I don't see where
says, okay,
where you're
he
drawing the
says you
fact that he's trying to
should
make her
quit,
quit
right?
mid fight.
He says you should quit, and then she's like, no, I'm not going to quit because she's getting hyped up by Naruto, right? And I'm really, let me specifically find this. I can actually base off of what I'm saying. I'm not reading this shit. Look into her eyes is different now. Wait, so come on here now to talk back to him. blah blah blah. He's mad. He's made me mad, and it's you who has to fight him. Thank you. You're not going to withdraw. He said, I don't want to run anymore, right? So again, she's clearly trying to like face all of her fears here. So now if he tries to show that, yeah, regardless of your resolve, right, there's nothing you can do to actually make you like beat me, right? And even if you thought you could beat me before, you were just wrong and simply mistaken. I was just toying with you. Then yes, that would give her a bigger motive to actually run from him and quit the fight.
No, because I'm saying where's his intent to make her quit after the fight begins? In the beginning of the fight, before the fight begins, that's when he states like 3 times, quit, quit, quit. Right? So the narrator is trying to show us that he's asking, like he's being like, okay, if you don't want to get your ass whooped, fuck boy, you should quit. She doesn't take that, and then after that, he never once says quit again.
Yeah, he doesn't need to say. Look, he doesn't need to say, "Oh, quit now."
No. He says, if you're not gonna quit, I'm not responsible for what happens to you.
Yes. Of course, he's okay. One, he's just trying to threaten her there and be like, "Yeah, if you don't quit now, I'm going to beat the dog shit out of you." Right? That's clearly what he's trying to imply here, which is again further motive that should be actually motivating her to quit. Because what it's basically like, if I ask you, try fist fight me, right? And then what's it called? As you try, like initially you're scared, then your boy comes in and tries to hype you up, and then I'm like, oh yeah, if you don't quit, I'm not responsible if you get the shit beating out of you. That's going to be a good reason as to why. So it clearly seems as if he's motivating her there.
No, that's I agree he's motivating her, but I'm saying like that's irrelevant. You're arguing upon irrelevant things. I'm saying if you were to come try to fight me at a bar and I was like, you don't want to do this, little bro, because you're like half my size, I'm finna fuck you up. And then I'm like, you shouldn't do this. Don't fight me. And then you come and fight me. My motive isn't now to stop you from fighting me. I could just kick you. Like if I'm clearly expressive, that you come fight me, I will kick your ass. I don't think that's some like hidden.
Even if you try and force this, even if you try and force this ultra proprietary like usage of how he'd be interpreting this, you literally see him at the end of the fight. Instead of continuing to beat the piss out of her, he says withdraw. So clearly, he still wants her to quit. Like it's so obvious.
Oh well, yeah. I guess he did at the end, like re-bring it up when he fucked her up enough. But yeah, like I don't see why not just overwhelming the shit out of her wouldn't give her like the motive to quit.
So again, like, if I make you, it's like, look, if I make you, this is happening to me too, but like, I'm just gonna give this example. Anyone who's like watching this recording can just determine which one would be more likely. But if I like making a video, right, and I'm trying to become the best, I'm trying to surpass this like level wall in terms of video editing, and then I think I'm making good progress. I think I'm actually the shit, right? And then immediately, I'm getting into a coding competition, and I think, oh wow, I'm doing so well. And then in reality, it turns out I was doing dog shit the entire time. And actually, I was just so far away from the actual goal that I didn't stand there. I think that would be a better motive, right? That, like, what's it called? Giving somebody hope, then taking it away is just a.
I think you kind of just like explained your own weird. Oh, he's lagging. Okay, I thought he was not.
Motive is like better way to. Oh, that hit my Wi-Fi. Hello, am I?
Yeah. Hello, you're good. I'm gonna be real. I think.
Did you hear the analogy I gave?
The analogies. I think I get your point too. I'm gonna be real. We could wrap that up. I also don't really important. I think the whole feed shit, like you just kind of didn't. You kind of sidestepped the argument. So even if you were to like get this is more probable, I mean,
I don't think I sidestepped the argument, but it's fine. Do you have any like form of proper argument?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be real. For this point, I think you kind of just like added your own arbitrary like headcanon as to why this would be like the better case. You never actually gave a real example. I think both just dominating someone from the start. Oh my God. I think if I got dominated by
almost every emotional case
race,
it's gonna be arbitrary.
I would kind of like want to quit. Yeah, you're talking over me. I can't hear you. I think I would kind of like just want to quit. So I don't see where the difference.
Look, every single emotional case that you're going to give. Yeah. Every single emotional case that you're going to give is going to be arbitrary. Him deciding to like what's it called? Him
Yeah,
Look,
I don't.
him deciding to like overwhelm him from the start is also going to be arbitrary. However, I'm saying that if he has this motive that's to make her quit, out of these two arbitrary methods, right, which one is the one that people most likely think wants them to quit? That's what I'm saying. Instead of fucking crowd create some form of polling onto this, we
Well,
could just leave it up to whoever's like watching the video to determine
yeah,
which one is like more
yeah, but
likely would make them quit faster.
yeah. Well, I don't think you're really like. I'll say it one more time. I think you're getting what I'm saying, but you kind of like worded it weird just for like the people watching direct. I'm saying both aren't like necessarily arbitrary, but like you can't arbitrarily assert one over the other is what I'm saying, because they both have like a reason why as to why they would be the case. They both do lead to the person being overwhelmed and like wanting to quit. Well, what arbitrarily what the like arbitration is you trying to arbitrarily like put one of those over the other when they have
Yeah,
like the
the
same amount of like
arbitrary
proof
part of
to
it, one,
justify
the
them.
method in which you do it, the specific reason why you pick that specific method is going to be like arbitrary in the sense that like you are only picking it to pick it, right? And then do which one makes you quit faster, which is obviously like, or which one breaks your resolve more, which is obviously what Neji is trying to do, would also be dependent on people's emotional states.
Hmm.
That's why I'm saying that instead of actually arguing over it further, we can just leave it down to people's emotional states, right?
Well,
Which one
yeah,
actually would make them quit, like,
I'm
or
gonna be
break their
real.
resolve.
I don't think you can. If you're agreeing like they're both arbitrarily placed over each other, they're both like a person to person thing. Then I don't think you can like maybe
Yeah,
you
and then
think
it'd be which
oh
one.
I'm gonna get
Look,
this
it'd be
person to
which
agree with
one
me. But
convinces
hold on,
more people. You understand that, right?
But wait, I'm saying within the debate, I don't think you can then arbitrarily like put one over the other.
You understand it
Maybe
to
like
be look.
some people will
Mhm.
be more susceptible to one interpretation than the other. But like I'm
Yes,
saying,
of
within the
course.
constraints of this debate, if we're like we're both agreeing they're both arbitrarily over one another, it would just be equal.
Look, look, look.
This of
Of
what
course,
people
of no,
think.
no, no. I don't know about the equal stuff,
So
right?
like
But
I don't see where you get the like
of
probable shit.
course, right?
Even if like
In like,
people agree with you.
like, wait, chill. Are you done? Okay. So of course, right, like I can agree that some people are going to be more susceptible to some stuff compared to other people. That's fine. I can grant that. My argument can still work. Because my argument simply is, oh yeah, based off of like what's it called? Based off of not only defeats I have, but also like from an emotional standpoint, this is what makes people quit faster. Now you're trying to say, no. This can also make her quit faster, right? In the same way, you're like, yeah. If you tickle the feet, that would make her want to quit faster. Like, of course, it's just dependent on people's emotional states. However, I'm saying intuitively, it seems to like lean towards my position. But even if you don't want to use an intuitive standpoint to justify it, right, we can just base it off of whoever's listening to the debate. I don't really care to try and like come to some false impasse with you as to, oh, both of these like emotional claims are equal, because I just generally don't think that's how people like look at things emotionally.
Well, I wouldn't. I think that like making it up to the people when you yourself agree arbitrary. I think that'd just be something that benefits you and kind of like takes away the logic of or like the whole point of the debate. So I don't know. It
It
just seems
wouldn't
weird, but
take away
yeah,
the whole point of
we
the
can move
debate,
on
but
though.
I guess if that like that's your own subjective standard, that's fine. So why do you
I
think it
don't think
goes
it's
all out
subjective,
against
but yeah,
Naruto?
we can move on. Do you want to like conclude on that last point though? Because I feel like I
I
want
don't
to
really care
conclude
for a conclusion
just to
specifically.
can I do it just to like make sure my points are heard before we
Sure.
like get into the next point? All right. So like the main feat shit was kind of stupid is because you were talking about like the Tenketsu shit. You were like kind of ignoring because we agreed that like them showing the bottom panel where like it's just a bunch of Hinatas and a bunch of Nejis is just to like it's just a placeholder for like a huge or like a really quick skirmish they had where they faced each other. So I'm saying in that skirmish we like off panel or something Neji could have hit like other parts of her arm. Also like in one skin we don't even see where he hits. It's like kind of weird. So her arm a bunch. That's the only time he could have hit her arm because after that he just we visibly see he just hits her in her chest and then hits her in her arms twice. So that whole like onslaught of markings or the whole onslaught of like gentle fist attacks that left all those markings on her attack on her arm would have to come from that. So that's where I think you're like wrong on the feats. That was my conclusion for like the people
Uh,
listening, so they could kind of grasp my point. And then the whole like
yeah.
Tenketsu shit kind of just by Kakashi, it kind of just would denounce the whole like everybody relativity because they're just not aware of his full power. I think the viewers will be able to grasp that. So
Yeah, I asked
Yeah.
ChatGPT which one like causes despair faster. They said my option, but yeah. So why do you think he goes all out against Naruto?
You said what?
Why do you think he goes all out against Naruto?
Who? What are you talking about?
You said he
No, I said
goes all out against people.
No, I said
Oh, I'm
he'd
moving
most
off of the
likely
entire thing as a whole. That's fine too.
no, he'd most likely go all out against Lee, or the guy would have a reason to dictate this. He would have some founding. For one, we see Neji go all out against Sonata. For two, we see Neji. We know Neji spars Lee a lot, and if it's in character for him to fight against these people he views with these like conflicting ideals in an all-powered state, then it should just.
Yeah, so that's just contention on like what we just argued. That's fine.
Yeah,
You
I'm saying
brought up
my
something
whole
else
argument
about
is
him being
contentious upon it.
yeah, you brought up something about him being like right, or guy being Neji's teachers
That
and
doesn't
also
matter. That
some
doesn't
form of
matter.
basic.
Ignore that. It can be
Okay.
contentious on the last point. Like
So
the
is
whole
that
reasoning,
only a
my whole
scaling then?
scaling can be contentious on that because the
Yeah,
rest
that's
of it
fine. That's fine.
just follows from it. To be honest.
Yeah, you want to conclude on the
And
entire
then
thing?
wait, I wanna attack one more thing though.
Give me a second.
There's one more like
My mom's
contentious part of my scaling. Pardon me. The only other like super contentious part of my scaling is the training shit. You said like it's a stronger Neji, so the apply. Shinra, are you lagging out again? I want to get into that because if I denounce that, then it'd just be Lee like could fuck up Neji, and then from then on Neji could, or Neji's just not a lot weaker than his old self. Yo, is he good?
He said he gotta go.
All right. You can direct them, but one more like